What's going on, folks? I'm watching the end of this game. I figured the game would be over by now, but they just had that injury. Um, the girl from LSU had to take her out on the stretcher. What's up, man? Everything is all good, man. I appreciate you jumping in, watching all these games, man. These women's games have been phenomenal. I haven't even been watching any men's game. I've been watching all women's game today. I was supposed to watch the Xfinity race down in Phoenix. I didn't even get to watch NASCAR today. I've been so into the to these women's games, and yeah, Ole Miss have been playing well, but every time they get relatively close, they couldn't get over the hump. They could not get over the hump. Clearly, they were handling the ball better than LSU, but um, just like in this fourth quarter, their shot selection has been garbage, man. It's been god awful. So, and Ole Miss had opportunities to bring it even, but they couldn't convert. Angel Reese got a double double on one leg and a bum ankle. You know what I mean? So this girl's been playing. She's been balling all game. Let me see if I can go back to her. See what her stats are. What's the box scores saying? Because they've been balling, man. Angel Reese, 21 points, 17 rebounds, one block. Good grief. 6 offensive boards, 11 defensive boards. Yeah, she been putting it down. And the girl Scott from Ole Miss just can't get it going enough. So everybody's still living off the high of the Kamilla Cardoso shot. But I think this is a wrap. You're talking about a minute left. Unless Ole Miss just, nah. You see that floater? Good grief. Flau'jae Johnson just floated it over the top, man. That was beautiful. Yeah, I don't think ain't going to make it happen. Ain't got enough time. They just had another turnover. Van Lith. She's slowing it down. That's a wrap. Angel Reese waving to the cloud, to the crowd. But I will say this. I don't think yes, I mean it's still a 2-possession game, so things can happen. But I think Ole Miss is just out of sorts right now. Yeah, I think LSU is gonna take this one. Good game though, man. Good game. These games have been phenomenal, man. Between this, listening to all the news with the Eagles, trade rumors, Josh Sweat might be out of here. Hassan Reddick might be out of here. Both of them might be out of here. Like, good grief, man. That's crazy. So we got a lot of stuff going on, man. I hope everybody had a chance to see the Tennessee game, South Carolina and Tennessee. You know we're going to watch South Carolina up here because Dawn Staley got that Philly girl getting it done. She is getting it done. She remains undefeated. Yes, it was a Hail Mary shot. Yes, Kamilla Cardoso got lucky. The only time she's hit a 3-point shot in regulation, and she hits that shot. That was incredible. So I watched that whole game. About scared the hell out of my wife because I started screaming after she made that shot because it was incredible. Yeah, man, it was just great games. Great games today. So it looks like LSU and South Carolina will meet for the SEC championship. So yeah, this game's about over. Smacked it. So, what a lot of stuff. So I ain't gonna be around too long, but had to talk about these games today, man. These games were incredible. If anybody's gonna beat South Carolina, they are still undefeated on the year. So if anybody was to beat South Carolina, it was supposed to happen today. They were supposed to lose that game today, and they found a way to win. Was it luck? Was it a lucky shot? I'll give you that. Yes, it was a lucky shot, but she made it. So it is what it is. You get credit when you make the shot. It's that simple. So, and at the end of the day, they are still undefeated for the year. So Dawn Staley still putting it down. For South Carolina representing Philly, this should be a good game tomorrow. Now, injuries obviously are hurting LSU. South Carolina's got a couple injuries too, but now this is where it's important. I don't care what sport you play, you have got to be healthy going down the stretch. You've got to be healthy. Everybody ain't gonna have a Nick Foles sitting on the bench. It don't work that way. So you got to have health. Now, Angel Reese, quote unquote, is not 100%, but the way she balled tonight, she might as well be. And then they just lost the girl tonight. So, we'll find out. We will find out. So it's going to be a day of days tomorrow, and I'm going to be tuned in because it is going to be good. What is it, 65? Nah, they're running out of time. They're trying to mount a comeback. They're trying to do something, but I don't think Ole Miss has enough time. I just don't. So put that up so I can see who's jumping in on the Facebooks. I see John Malmos on Facebook. Hopefully a couple more people in. So today, right now, this is the first stream that I've ever done. I got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram Live. I finally got that hooked up, and YouTube. So I got 4 platforms going at the same time. So, and I got 12 people in the stream right now. So that works for me. That means somebody's watching, and I appreciate you. So Scott just hit a 3. Good. And now we back to a 2-possession game again. So I don't know what's going to happen. Let me see. No thanks. Let's see what's going on here. 65-71. You got 35 seconds left. So let's see if they can hold off, play a little defense, and get it done. Let me get back to are y'all going to play nice? Yep. Haley Van Lith is on the line. That is why Tennessee lost. Tennessee did not make the free throws when they had to make the free throws. Tennessee had an opportunity to make it a 4-point game, and the girl missed both free throws with 5 seconds left or less than 5, whatever it was. She missed both free throws. All she needed to do was make one and would have went to overtime. But she missed both of them and gave South Carolina an opportunity for a Hail Mary, and they hit it. You got to make the free ones. I remember when I used to coach basketball, and I used to coach kids. I didn't do high school or AAU or nothing like that. But the message is still the same. When you're on the free throw line, make the free ones. That's why they're free. Don't give them back. So now you're at a 3-possession game, up by 8, 65-73. LSU, 35.5 seconds left. And this one might be a wrap. Might be a wrap. So it's gonna be a good game. Gonna be a game tomorrow. LSU and South Carolina. I think South Carolina, I would give them the edge. They played their dud game, so I would expect them to come out a little bit better. Dang, why y'all just? Yeah, Ole Miss has been doing this all game. They try to dribble through everybody, and they lose control. And clearly, in my opinion, based on what I saw tonight in the first half, Ole Miss, them girls handle the ball a lot better than LSU, just with dribbling skills. But for whatever reason, they try to dribble through everybody, especially going down in the paint, and they would always get out of control and turn it over. And that's what just happened. And you got 30 seconds left. So is somebody else down for LSU? Nah, she good. But they're trying to get through this game healthy because you don't want to get nobody hurt with 12 seconds left or 20 seconds left in the game. There's 26 seconds left. And you don't want nothing stupid to happen. I believe, is she taking Angel Reese out? Yep. This is when people come down on people's feet and diving for balls and stuff like that. Yeah, you don't want nothing crazy to happen. So, but yeah, LSU has they played well, and it's gonna be a game tomorrow. But I think Dawn Staley, if they get all of that stink out that they had today, because they were up by 24 points at halftime on Tennessee, and they let Tennessee come all the way back, and they needed a Hail Mary shot to win that game. South Carolina got kind of out of control towards the end of the game, and they just couldn't get it right. They couldn't get it right. And then Tennessee just kept creeping, and they kept hitting shots. And before you knew it, it was tied. Then they were up by one, and then they had that crazy last 10 seconds. And it was, if you saw the Tennessee coach at the press conference, she was fighting back tears hard. She looked like Jason Kelsey up there fighting them tears back. Like she was distraught. She was outdone. And I don't blame her. A game like that, when your girls play hard like that and battle back on the number one team in the country, and you come down from 24 points down to possibly win the game, and they hit you with a Hail Mary shot. Mm-mm. She was heartbroken. She was heartbroken. So, but hey man, this is the longest 35 seconds ever. We still at 21.2 seconds left. 65-73, LSU still up. Haley Van Lith is on the line. She's shooting 2. So make the free ones. So this is going to be a wrap. So it's funny. I'm watching the internet feed right here, and then I got my big screen right here. And the big screen, my cable feed, is about 10 seconds slower than the internet feed, which is weird. So, yeah, but I think this is a wrap. They're going to let it go down 15 seconds. Let them shoot. Let the clock run. Get a girl to, don't foul. Let the time go. There you go. Get out. Somebody call timeout. Okay. Here's what it is. 10 seconds left. 10.3 seconds left. It's the longest 35 seconds ever. What do y'all think? If you in the chat, what are your thoughts on Angel Reese? I'm very interested. I'm working on a video with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin Clark clearly is she is the buzzword this year for women's college basketball, and rightfully so, in my opinion. But if you remember last year, when she lost, they kind of made Angel Reese the villain, even though Caitlin Clark was the one talking all the trash. But they kind of made Caitlin Clark kind of like the villain. So you already know that Caitlin Clark is coming. She's playing in the WNBA, and I think she's going to be great. And I saw the article today that the Las Vegas Aces? I think that's their name. They sold out of their season tickets for the WNBA. And I don't know if that's the first time, but that's a good sign, because finally this game is over. Caitlin Clark moves the needle. She is the WNBA's version of Tiger Woods, and they need it very, very badly. Very badly. Now, will she be as good as a Tiger Woods or somebody like that? Remains to be seen. But with her being a shooter, you get her involved. And this is where the WNBA has a very interesting situation. There has never been a player like Caitlin Clark. And let me clarify that. There have been players as good as Caitlin Clark, but there has never been a player in the WNBA with as much hype as Caitlin Clark. Legitimate hype. She's the truth. She can ball. She's not the stereotypical pretty face, all of that other stuff. She's a straight baller. She is a Steph Curry style shooter, because that's the person that everybody wants to compare her to, Steph Curry. And again, rightfully so, because the girl can hit from logos and three-quarter shots and all of that kind of stuff. She's the real deal when it comes to shooting the ball. Will she have that level of success in the WNBA? I don't know. Because I'm like, if you a shooter, you can shoot her. The rim size ain't changing. It's still 10 feet off the ground. Nothing changes. So if Indiana is going to draft her, which they probably will, and they would be stupid not to, Indiana will have 3 of the top college scorers in women's college basketball history. They got Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell was number 3 on the all-time score list. So now you got the number 1 and the number 3 scorer in women's college history on the same team. And then you got the other girl, what's her name? She was like player of the year or rookie of the year for Indiana. I can't remember what her name is. I can't see if I can look up their roster. But they got some ballers on Indiana. So it's going to be up to them to make the most out of Caitlin Clark. They would be smart to start her. I don't know what they're going to do about that because Indiana is going to probably sell out most of their home games. Now, I know it was a big deal because the Aces sold all of their season tickets, which is phenomenal. But Caitlin Clark is going to put butts in seats. People are going to be going to WNBA games that never go to games before. They're going to be taking a chance to see what it's all about because of Caitlin Clark. And again, rightfully so. So you gotta feature her. You gotta put her out there. It would be silly for her to have all of this hype, and then they still want to do status quo with how they treat rookies and stuff like that. Like, nah, you got a unique situation. And just like in the men's game, sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little bit. Everybody is not treated equal. Everybody is not treated equal at the pro level, at least not in the men's game. So they got a chance to do it and make it right and make everybody some money. Everybody can eat off Caitlin Clark. Everybody. They just got to play their cards right. So I hope that they can get it done. Trying to do this and that's not working, but I hope they can get it done and they can make the most out of this. I don't think Angel Reese is going to come out. I think Angel Reese is too happy being an influencer and making her money right there. I don't think Angel Reese wants to come out right now. She's trying to play it coy on her. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see her doing it. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. But Caitlin Clark is going to put butts in seats. And then they got a very good crop of young players coming behind. The girl, Paige Beckers for UConn, she was balling today. I watched the UConn game. She was going off. She's going to stick with UConn for another year, so she's playing her 5th year. So she's going to come out next year. So now they got good players coming out next year as well. She'll be one of them that I would watch. Juju Watkins is a freshman. Malaysia Full Wiley, she's a freshman at South Carolina. But those are young people that I'm definitely watching. What's the girl at UCLA? Paige Betts, I think that's her name, the big 6'7" girl. Kamilla Cardoso, she's gonna come out, I think. But I don't know if she's gonna play going back to Brazil or if she's gonna go in the WNBA. They need to keep them. They got all of this hype built up for the last couple years. The last 2 years, the women's game has got more attention than I ever remember. As good as Kelsey Plum was, I didn't really start paying attention to Kelsey Plum until Caitlin Clark broke her records. I didn't even really know who she was, but I had seen her a lot. And the funny thing is, I realized who Kelsey Plum was because they kept showing that clip. She was at I think she was at a Lakers game, and she was throwing the t-shirts into the crowd, and I believe her dad was at the upper deck, and she threw the ball like football, threw the ball through the t-shirt up to the upper deck to her dad. And I remember seeing that clip, and I was like, "Oh, that's Kelsey Plum." Then I saw her with the Kevin Hart in the cold tub. Then I started putting two together, and I was like, "Okay." And again, it's somebody you see on the outskirts, you don't really pay attention to, because all this time I thought Kelsey Plum was like 6 foot, 6'1". Kelsey Plum was like 5'8". She's a short guard doing what she did. So she's a baller, but I'm saying all that to say Caitlin Clark and all of these girls coming out now is going to make me watch women's basketball, WNBA, where I didn't before. The only basketball I watched in the last couple years is Indiana because of Kelsey Mitchell. And the reason I watched Kelsey Mitchell is because I played with her dad. Her dad, Mark Mitchell, is the reason I went to Eastern Kentucky and had the career I did. I've told that story before. Mark Mitchell, we went to the same high school, Princeton High School out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Put your hand over your heart every time you say it. But all of the graduates and guys were playing in college elsewhere. They would always come home for the summer, and they would always open our weight room, and you work out at the weight room. So he was hollering at me one day and was like, "Have you decided yet?" I was going to either go to Toledo or Indiana State, and I hadn't committed yet. I hadn't signed with anybody. He said, "Why don't you come on down and meet Coach Kidd?" And I rode down with him, met Coach Kidd, and Coach Kidd told me that they didn't recruit me because they didn't think that they could get me. And he offered me a scholarship on the spot, and I accepted. Full ride scholarship. So Mark Mitchell, Kelsey Mitchell's father, is the reason I went to Eastern Kentucky. So little 6 degrees of separation there. But I mean, that's why I follow Indiana or watched her. So now, fast forward to now, you got this situation with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is selling out in every building she travels to. If I was playing, that game is sold out, whoever they're playing. You got these people waiting out, looking at waiting outside for tickets at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning for Caitlin Clark. And the game's not till 8 p.m. Everywhere she goes, she's selling out stadiums. That's what the WNBA needs. They need a legitimate star. And I'm not talking about, they got stars right now. They got basketball stars. They need somebody that transcends. And they haven't had that before. They had a little bit in the beginning, but in the beginning, they didn't have enough backing about it. Back when Cheryl Swoops and that whole deal was coming off of the Olympics. They had that global game, and they were kind of riding off the coattails of the men's Olympic team, and they had that shine because they won gold, and the men won gold, and they were doing that thing together, and they used that momentum. That was when Cheryl Swoops was in her heyday, and they used that momentum to propel the WNBA, and it worked for a while. It worked for a while, but then after that shine kind of faded away from the Olympic Games, then you needed new stars to come in, and they just didn't have anybody with that much hype, Olympic world level like hype. Now you do, because you're talking about a whole new era with the NILs and social media, and anybody can see anything all around the world. That didn't exist when Swoops and them came out in the beginning. Somebody from Brazil or somebody in Europe or Russia couldn't jump on YouTube and watch a game. Now it exists. Now you truly have global awareness for the basketball. WNBA, NBA, everything. Heck, I remember when my rookie year, we traveled to Tokyo, and the Eagles played the Saints in the American Bowl in Tokyo. I'll never forget that. And they were slowly but surely, we looked at it as we get a chance to play overseas, but the NFL knew what they were doing. And then in 97, when I got cut from the Eagles, then I went to bounced around in a couple camps, but I went to the World League. They brought back the World League. Again, the NFL knew what they were doing. I was in Scotland, London, Barcelona, Amsterdam, and 2 teams in Germany, Dusseldorf and Frankfurt. Frankfurt being the best team. They knew what they were doing. So now you got a whole generation of kids that grew up in a soccer world that are now familiar with American football. If you ever noticed, if you ever looked at the games when they play in London and overseas, even when they played in Germany, when Kansas City and Miami played in Germany, if you ever took notice of what's going on in the crowd, you ever notice that all of the fans that are at those international games, they all have on different jerseys. They rarely have the team that's playing. They'll have a whole bunch of different jerseys because over there they sell everything. They don't have allegiance to a particular team yet. So they only buy what's available. So that's an interesting thing that kind of manifested itself when you look at the games that are played overseas. There's not one team that is dominant in the stands yet. Yes, you're going to see more Cowboys gear and stuff like that, but you're only going to see that because the Cowboys have the biggest brand in the world right now. So it only makes sense. But they knew what they were doing. They looked at what the basketball did, what women's basketball did, how they got it started, and they just follow suit. And now, next year, we're going to Brazil. Eagles are playing Brazil for the first week 1, a regular season game. It ain't a preseason game. This one counts. And it's our home opener. So we lose our home opener because we got to go to damn Brazil, Sao Paulo. So they're learning. They're watching all of these games, and they figured out what the next order of business is. And it's all about making money, man. I ain't mad at them. They making that money. So, all right, let me see. I'm trying to get on. What is this? Am I live? I'm trying to see if I'm live on Instagram, but I don't see how that's working, and it's not. So I'll live. But in any case, let's go back to the Facebooks. Well, yeah, man, it's been pretty good. The games have been phenomenal today. Let's see what the final. Ole Miss 67, LSU 75. Angel Reese 21 points, 17 rebounds. She hit no 3-pointers. 1 block. Turned the ball over 3 times. She had a good game. It was Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson. They were the top scorers. And Ole Miss had opportunities. They just couldn't take advantage of them. And then the whole Kamilla thing. So it was only a matter of time. But that was so good. That was so fun to watch. Scared my wife to death because I was yelling and screaming. She was like, "What?" Because she heard it, but she wasn't watching it. So, and she really wasn't paying attention to the games anyway. That's, so she came in here and looked to see what was going on, but it was crazy. It was crazy. I have not even been interested in the men's college game. I'm going to watch when we get to the Elite 8 or the Sweet 16. Then I'll probably start paying attention. But as for right now, I'm having too much fun watching the women's games. So I'm going to keep doing that. So, yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. So who's let me see. And who's this now? It's a men's game that just came on. Looks like it's Dayton and somebody. But I want to see if there are any more Eagles stories, Eagles news. I gotta figure out what to do with this mic. Eagles news. So like everybody, Josh Sweat is seeking a trade. Um, we still don't know what is going to happen with Hassan Reddick. But I think the whole situation with Hassan Reddick is you were just counting the money. They were just trying to figure out who's going to offer him, what they're going to offer him, and whatever that number is, will the Eagles match? Because in my opinion, if Sweat is on the trade block, we can't get rid of both of them. We gotta keep one or the other. I'm more partial to Hassan Reddick because he's done what he's done the past 4 years. I think he's a better player. However, he is 29 years old. Josh Sweat is only 26. So you got youth on your side. But Hassan Reddick, the last 4 years on three different teams, he's had 11 plus sacks. So in spite of the bad defenses and the bad coaches, he's had 11 plus sacks. So he can get it done. He can still get it done. And he doesn't seem like he was his play had gone off the cliff. He didn't do a Bradbury. You know what I'm saying? So we still got a lot of time to figure that out and what they're going to do. But every day we get closer. The free agency is Monday, I believe. So everybody's going to be wheeling and dealing, trying to get their draft position and things like that. So there's a lot of deals that could be done, and this is Howie season. So this is Howie season. This is what he gets paid to do, and he's good at it. So I trust Howie, but I don't think we can't lose both of them. Let me just say it like that. I would want to keep Hassan Reddick because he's hometown kid. He's from this area. He's from the Philadelphia South. He's from South Jersey, but that's just like over the bridge from Philly. And for the same reason I said this the other day, for the same reason I want to keep DeAndre Swift. I like kids that are homegrown, that grow up here, understand this culture, understand the Philly way, and they're good people, good for the community, good players on the team, and I want to keep those guys. So we just signed BG to a $4 million deal. He's going to play one more year for $4 million. At his age, his league minimum would be like $1.7 million. So he gave the Eagles a hometown discount, and the Eagles took care of him. He's going to play 1 year, his last year, and he's going to make $4 million. And I'm sure they probably have incentives and stuff like that in there. But for the most part, that's what he wanted to do. There's not many people these days that can say they stayed with the same team. Kelsey did it. Brandon Graham was talking about this 2 seasons ago. He did not want to move anywhere. He got his family here. He wanted to stay in Philadelphia and start and finish his career in Philly. And we need more guys like that, because that part of the reason why Philadelphia is a destination city. Do you remember, or do you realize how many years that we could not say that? Philadelphia is a destination city. People want to come here and have a chance to win. I think our Super Bowl window is not closed. I think our Super Bowl window, once we get our defense together, that's going to be Howie Roseman's biggest thing is getting the defense together. And I think he'll be able to do that. Definitely think he'll be able to do that. I wonder if I should show. I don't think I can though. I want to show that shot. I want to show the Kamilla shot again, because they're gonna be showing that all day. I got to figure out a way to get a video together so I can see that. That was a phenomenal shot. I can't stop talking about that. Can't stop talking about it. So, that was the. Had anybody else heard about this situation going on at Temple? You're talking about Philly sports. So Temple apparently is under investigation for point shaving. So apparently the NCAA uses a independent group to check on betting lines. If the I don't understand betting lines and over under and all of that kind of stuff. The line is -3 points, or I don't understand any of that. Let me just put that out there first. But apparently there is an independent group that works, I guess, have a contract with the NCAA. So basically, if the betting lines move too severely, that means somebody's doing something they shouldn't be doing. So this group kind of gives it the arched eyebrows, like, hey, what's going on here? Let's investigate and let's see what's making these betting lines move so much. Because usually somebody's leaked some information, somebody's hurt, star players not playing, stuff like that. And it changes the betting lines. So if you're leaking information, or obviously the worst case scenario, are you shaving points? Are you, doing this, that, or the other? So when the betting lines move a certain way, it raises red flags, and this group comes in and investigates. And apparently, this is the second time it has happened with Temple. And of course, we're going into March Madness. Everything goes with that, yada, yada, yada. So the red flags have gone up on Temple. And they are trying to figure out, they don't know what it is yet or what it isn't. And they're not saying that there's something amiss. They're just saying it looks like there are some gambling related issues that they might have. So they are investigating. So, and apparently there is a list of colleges under investigation for alleged discrimination. I don't know, that's something else. Never mind. Temple to review reports of unusual wagering on the UAB game. University of Alabama, Birmingham. Temple University. Let me just let you in on the secret. Hold on for a second. Second monitor. There we go. Temple University will review reports that show at least one game involving its men's basketball team has been flagged by gambling watchdog company US Integrity for unusual betting activity. The betting line for Thursday night's game between Temple and UAB surged from the Blazers opening as a 2-point favorite to the spread reaching as high as 8 points per the tracking website covers.com. UAB covered the spread with a 100-72 win at Temple. So I guess the spread moving up to 8 points from a 2-point favorite is very, very unusual. Again, I don't understand betting and all of that kind of stuff, but apparently that's a huge swing and enough to cause some red flags. So there you have it. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with that. I know Temple is supposed to play tomorrow. So I don't know how that's going to work, or are they supposed to play tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is they under investigation. March Madness is starting, and either Temple's either in or the NIT maybe. So I don't know if this is something they're going to make a decision on. But tell you what, man, the longer it goes along, and you remember, what's the guy's name that was in the NBA? What was the ref that got caught betting? NBA ref betting scandal. What was his name? Donahue? Tim Donahue. Tim Donahue bet on games, and then he could tell you how he did it. That was the thing. What's up, Cody K? That was the thing, man. So yeah, he I'm surprised he doesn't have like a YouTube channel or something like that. Because I would be interested in what he had to say and how he could break it down. Because he would know he got caught. And he could break it down and tell you this is how you do it. This is how you shade points. This is how you. I think he's talked about that before, but it's very interesting because that's a lot of money. A lot of money in college and in the pros. And I think others like him, because you know there's others out there. There's too many ways that you can make money. But this is part of the reason why we have the NIL deals and all of that kind of stuff now is because of what was going on. All of the money the NCAA makes off these kids, and you don't, even now with the NIL deal with all of these kids in the Madden games, the NCAA football games, the video games, now you got kids opting out and don't, all of this money that this game is going to make, all the millions of dollars, and they're giving the kids, they're signing NIL contracts and they're getting like $650. But you get the cachet of saying I was in the video game. So I know I would have done it. I wouldn't have worried about the money I'm getting off of it. So it's an interesting phenomenon of how that stuff goes on, because the amount of money these video games make now is different. When I was in school, we had the first generation Madden on Sega Genesis. That was it. There was no online play, thank God, because if online play or massively multiplayer would have existed when I was in college, I wouldn't have made it. Wouldn't have made it. We was having too much fun. So, yeah. So it's interesting to see where this goes. What's going to happen with Temple? Is it going to affect anything that Temple does this year? I don't know. But we'll see. We shall see. So let me see here. Can I turn this? There we go. That doesn't help. But yeah, man. Let me see. Who's VCU and Dayton? 26-9. That's a boring game. But guess what? South Carolina and Tennessee game was boring too, because they were down by 24 and they came back. That's how you do it, man. So we're going to see what's going to happen next. Basketball is going to be good. I'm going to try. It depends on what time they start. I believe it's a night race tomorrow, so we're going to see what happens if I can even watch NASCAR. I still got to do my NASCAR draft. I'm going to do a NASCAR draft. There are a couple of drivers that I watch. I watch Rajah Caruth. I watch Bubba Wallace. I watch Kyle Larson. Dale Jarrett was my favorite racer, but he's long since retired. Yeah, Tara, that game was amazing. Were you watching the LSU game too? See my homegirl, Tara Meyer Scott. She's an EKU grad, Cardinals for life. Did you, Tara, did you watch the LSU game? Because that LSU game was tight. I thought I thought Ole Miss had an opportunity, but they could never take advantage of it. So I want to see is the LSU injury. What was the girl's name that got hurt for LSU? Was it the I don't know. Let me see. It's gotta be something. Somebody gotta have tape on it. Johnson Reese, Flauja Johnson, blah 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 blah. Greenville, LSU. Scary moment when guard Last Tier Poa fell hard. Yeah, there we go. Last tier Poa. These names be killing me, son. Let me see. Let's go back to the box score. Poa. Last Tier Poa. Her first name is Last. I'm gonna assume Polynesian. Melbourne, yeah. So I'm gonna guess she's Polynesian. Last Tier Poa. Interesting. It's a very unique name. Did they say what happened to her yet? I don't know if she told if she tore anything. Uh, Cody, you liked Dale Jarrett was my dude. When I got into NASCAR, I started watching Dale Jarrett and was always a fan. Had an opportunity to go down to Carolina, visit Robert Yates Racing and all that kind of stuff. I got the jacket in the closet. I used to have the big UPS Dale Jarrett jacket. I had a car signed by Dale Jarrett. I don't know what. I think I put it on eBay or something. I don't have it anymore. So, but I've just gotten back into NASCAR. So that was always fun. So let me see. Flaw Johnson had 21. Andrew Reese had 21. Andrew Reese had a double-double with 17 rebounds, man, on a bum ankle. She was killing it. What time is the game tomorrow? The Tigers will face regular season champion number 1 South Carolina. South Carolina has not lost this year. Shout out to Dawn Staley, man. Undefeated. South Carolina has not lost a game. Yes, they got lucky today. Yes, they should have got. Shout out to Keita Love Sports. That's her phrase. Everybody can get got. So I don't want to steal her stuff. But Dawn Staley, they got lucky. Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. That's the way it goes. Everybody in every sport. Sometimes people get lucky, and it is what it is. Whether it's basketball, whether it's football, whether it's NASCAR, sometimes you get lucky. NASCAR, there's a wreck in front of you, and you go up into the wall, or you go down low and you just miss it. So, Kamilla Cardoso is 100% from 3-point range. So she's 1 for 1. And that one came at the most opportune time. Because, and just, smart on Dawn Staley to just don't try to force it down low. Because if she would have got the ball down low, maybe somebody would have got a shot off. But it was more a time issue. And Cardoso had an open shot. So clearly she had practiced it before. But listen, come on, let's be real. She's supposed to call that. She's supposed to call that off the glass, and she ain't call it off the glass. So, but yeah, Tara, that was an absolutely amazing game. Fun to watch. I can't wait for this game tomorrow. That is going to be off the chain. Dawn Staley and Kim Mulkey going at it. Because Dawn Staley should have won last year. She was not happy with the refs, but that's the way it goes. You win some, you lose some. Everybody gets shafted by the refs at some point in time. Tara, you already know that's how it goes, especially in basketball. These refs, they ain't got no love for nobody. So everybody gets it for the refs at some point in time. So let me see. What time is this game tomorrow? I'm trying to see. So Saturday, so Sunday, Nebraska. So Iowa plays Nebraska. UNC Greensboro versus Chattanooga. So where's the SEC? I don't know. I don't even see it on here. Come on, man. ESPN. That website is garbage, bro. USC plays Stanford, so I definitely want to see Juju Watkins. That's going to be a good game. And LSU, they play at 3. Thank you. So they play at LSU. South Carolina is considered the home team. They play at 3 p.m. And USC plays at 5 p.m. They play Stanford at 5 p.m. Did UCLA lose? Because I don't see UCLA in here. So they must have lost. Yeah, because they play SC. That's right. So okay, SC's ranked fifth. Southern Cal is fifth, and they play number two Stanford. And then you got LSU, who is ranked. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? LSU. LSU is ranked eighth, and South Carolina is ranked number one. UConn plays Marquette at 2:30. Man, I'm gonna have a couple of computers going so I can catch all these games because these games are gonna be good, man. Yeah, Cody, I don't think I'm gonna be able to catch any of the NASCAR race. I'm about to have the NASCAR race up on a whole nother computer. Um, if I want to see that because oh my god. So LSU plays at 3, UConn plays at 2:30, USC plays at 5. So it's gonna be an all-day affair tomorrow. It's gonna be all women's basketball. So that should be pretty good. That should be pretty good. But Cody K, real quick, what I was talking about was I am going to have a NASCAR draft while it's still early. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some D&D dice, and I'm going to line up or list all of the drivers and just roll the dice. So whoever I come up with, whoever the dice tell me to follow, that's what I'm going to follow for that race. So, gonna get that, just having some fun with it. But I'm still gonna follow Bubba Wallace. I'm still gonna follow Kyle Larson. And that's pretty much it. I follow Rajah Caruth, and I gotta find somebody in the Xfinity series. So I'm gonna have a couple drivers in every series. So you know how that goes. Something different, man. Something different. I really just got back into NASCAR and I'm enjoying it. But I gotta get familiar with a lot of these drivers because I've been I gotta put that's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. I gotta go back on my old YouTube channel and I gotta download all of the I got some footage when I went to Dover. I went to Dover to watch the Monster Mile. This was almost 15 years ago. And a buddy of mine, he is a freelance videographer. He works for MLB. He works for NFL. He's done NBA games. He's done NASCAR. So I would always go up to Dover with him, and I would be his runner. So I get a pass, a media pass. So that means I got free reign in everybody's pit. So literally, I'm leaning over the wall. Kurt Busch is coming in for a pit stop, and I'm, my angle makes it look like he is going to run me over. But I had the best time. I'm gonna go over. Definitely gonna get up there with him. If he goes and covers another race, I might try to go up there with him again. So, and I was trying to get with him. I'm definitely gonna try to hook up with him for some more games next year, where I can just. Usually, I'm just kind of at his side of just to be in the vicinity. And sometimes he's on top of the stadium with one of those, shoulder cannon cameras. So it's a pretty cool deal. So definitely going to try to hook up with him next year and go maybe do a football game if he ever works at the link. So, because they send him everywhere. So definitely a lot of fun. Definitely enjoy it. So, but yeah, we're going to definitely got to do my draft hopefully tomorrow or maybe next week. Because again, I'm all basketball tomorrow. So, so yeah, man, I'm interested. This has been a extremely entertaining year for women's basketball, men's basketball. I don't expect the Sixers to really do anything. So, I'm not. Joel's hurt, and I don't want to hear about anything else until the playoffs start. So if they're gonna make the playoffs, that's the only thing I'm worried about. So we'll watch the games tomorrow. See what happens. Should be a lot of fun, a lot of games. And I am predicting that South Carolina will be the SEC champs. And I am predicting that South Carolina will go ahead and win the whole shebang. This will be Dawn Staley's year. They played a crap game today and got lucky. And that was their one crap game. And everybody has a game like that. Now, whether they survive or not is the question. But South Carolina had that game today. The second half was god awful. It was hot garbage, and they paid for it. And they had a one Cinderella moment, and they can't expect that to happen again because the competition is getting too tough. These games are getting very expensive with injuries, and you got to be at your best in this March Madness tournament. So it is here. This is for all the marbles. This is what you play for. So I know Dawn Staley's going to have them girls ready, and they are not going to be. They can't leave it in the hands of the refs like what happened last year. So nobody wants to be in that situation. It happens sometimes, but they just don't want to be caught from some questionable calls. So you know what? Let's remove all doubt. Let's have that, 8, 10, 15-point lead and close it out. Put your foot on their neck and leave no doubt. So that's what they're going to have to do. So, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. It is going to be an eventful day. So check me out tomorrow. I'm trying to decide if I want to live stream. I got a lot of work to do. I got to get up early tomorrow. I got a script that I have to produce tomorrow. Stay tuned. Any Philly fans, I know you out there listening, but I got a video that I got to shoot tomorrow talking about Brandon Graham staying one more year. So that was good. And we needed that, especially with Kelsey retiring. I am not scared of Kelsey retiring. I don't think it's going to be a big drop off like some people think. What I think we will miss with Kelsey is his leadership. That's what I think we're going to miss. That voice in the locker room, that guy that you want to talk to, that's what Kelsey was. Not only was a all-pro player and everything that's happened to him the last 2-3 years with the New Heights podcast and his brother dating Taylor Swift and just the amount of attention that the Kelsey family has gotten, he was the voice of reason in the locker room. He was that dude. And that is what we're going to miss the most. I think Cam Jurgens is ready to play. Yes, Cody K, I talked about that earlier, Josh Sweat being on the trade block. But you know what? For the same reason, I want Hassan Reddick back. The Eagles have to make a choice. Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick. You can't do both. We can't let both of them go. We got to keep one of them. That's how I'm looking at the situation. If we get a good offer, and again, this is Howie season. This is what he does best. So I got full trust in Howie Roseman. This is his element. So he's either gonna get rid of Sweat, and we're gonna end up with like 3 draft picks, and we're gonna end up moving up and taking somebody, and Howie's gonna end up doing something that nobody saw coming. That's why he is as good as he is. So I trust Howie Roseman. I'm looking forward for him to make a move. Sweat, Hassan Reddick, one way or another, we're going to get some picks. And he's going to combine those picks with some other picks that we already have. And we're going to move up to like top 10, and we're going to get somebody that we really, really need. Do we want to move up to try to get Edgerrin Cooper or Jeremiah Trotter Jr.? I like Edgerrin Cooper a little bit more than I like Trot Jr. I like Trot Jr. only because he's a legacy. I know the kid can play, though. But I do like Edgerrin Cooper's size, and I like his speed. So if we're going to have somebody that's going to be playing in the middle, I don't want another linebacker that's the same size as Nakobe Dean. And I think Nakobe Dean is good. But I want somebody with some meat on their bones. I don't want to be going with the fast guys again. I want to see, like this year, we got a big thing with, if we're going to get rid of Sweat and or Hassan Reddick, that means the pressure is going to be on Nolan Smith to do what he needs to do and take that next step up. Now, in my opinion, Nolan Smith is a little bit too light to be playing on the end of the line. He's a little bit. I need him up in the 240s at least. He ran at 4.4. So what I need him to do is to get up to around 235, 240, and still be low 4.5s. He'll be fine. But as light as he is right now, he's losing the battle of physics with these offensive linemen. Tight end, he can hang with. Offensive tackle, they get hands on him. It's a wrap. He's not going to beat everybody around the corner. That's not going to happen. So I need him to be able to go toe-to-toe and get hands on the defensive or offensive tackle and still be able to bend and get around them. And right now, I think he's too light to get that done effectively. So we'll see what happens next year. Vic Fangio's got some pieces that he can use, and I want to see how he is going to use them. Word. So a lot of good stuff, man. We in good shape. And let's get through these next couple weeks. The free agency officially starts on Monday. So the proverbial crap is going to hit the fan on Monday. So it should be a very lively news cycle because we're going to have the games tomorrow. So all of these, the conference championships are going on now. So that should be over by the end of the week. So then we will be in true March Madness mode onto the Natty for the national championship to see what we're going to do, see who's going to be there. So it's going to be a good week, man. It's going to be a good week. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. My wife made some baked chicken that was slamming, and I'm going to get some more. I will see you guys tomorrow. Look for that video about Brandon Graham sometime tomorrow. And we'll keep it moving. So to all my homies that have been listening, Tara, if you're still listening, I appreciate you. All my EKU homies, my Cincinnati homies, I definitely appreciate you. Cody K, always first out the limo. Bet on Yourself Media Sports. I've been checking you out. I appreciate the support. And we're going to keep this thing moving. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you tune in. If you're new with us, don't forget to subscribe. And we're going to keep this party going. I will see you guys tomorrow. Go Birds.